Hey y'all, it's me, Miss Faulkner, and I'm actually sitting with baby Huey and Chazzle Dazzle right now, but they're all hype. I'm actually about to let Huey outside. Here, go on. It's cold though. Brr. If y'all are outside, if someone has practice or something, it is cold and windy and just too cold. Alrighty, love y'all. Let's get this started. Alrighty, what we're going to do today is we are going to use the distributive property to solve equations. So before we just had expressions and we were simplifying, but now we have an equal sign which turns it into an equation. So we're going to use the distributive property to solve. Chaz and Huey are wrestling in the background. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is use the distributive property to get rid of the parentheses. So we know this 3 is like me. It is nosy. It's going to get in everyone's business. It's going to get in the x's business and the 2's business. So we're going to do 3 times x, which is going to give us what? 3x. We must bring down the subtraction sign. Got to bring down the subtraction sign. Then we're going to do 3 times 2, which gives me 6, equals 21. Alrighty, put a little checkarooski. You did step number 1. Step number 2, you're going to solve the 2-step equation. So we're going to look here. We have 3x minus 6 equals 21. Okay, we're trying to get x by itself, but we can't mess with anything there, so we're going to add 6 to both sides. Whatever I do to one side, I must do to the other. So I'm left with 3x, and my 6's crossed out, equals 27. Now I divide both sides by 3, and I get x equals 9. Alrighty, so we did step number 2. We're going to go ahead and circle that x equals 9. Now what I want you to do is I want you to check your answer. And I don't have tons of room, but I can give you an example. So we do 3, and we do 9 minus 2 equals 21. Well, order of operations, let's do what's inside the parentheses. We do 3 times 7 equals 21. And we know, I'm going to use this little handy-dandy cool. We know that 21 equals 21. Way to go. You're a star. Alrighty. This is like I'm doing the video with Miss Carter. I'm having a lot of trouble. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do this one. 3 times negative 8. When we do that, we get negative 24. We have to bring down our addition sign. Plus 3 times 4x. 3 times 4x, that's going to give me 12x. Equals negative 48. Alrighty, we just did step 1 to get rid of the parentheses, and we used the distributive property. Now we're doing step 2. Solve the 2-step equation. Well, I know that I'm trying to get 12x by itself. Who's chilling with 12x? Negative 24. How do I get rid of a negative 24? I add 24, you say. Whatever I do to one side, I must do to the other. My 24 is crossed out, leaving me with 12x equals negative 24. Now, what operation is taking place between the 12 and the x? Multiplication. How do I undo multiplication? Division. I'm going to divide both sides by 12. I get x equals negative 2. Okay, I'm having major technical difficulties. So, at this point, I need you to take this negative 2, plug this in here, and see if using the order of operations, you're going to multiply this first, you can come up with this side equaling negative 48. If you need help, just raise your hand. But this slide, man, I've had some trouble with it. Miss Carter's not even in the room with me. Whew, okay. Alrighty, hopefully we're going to have a little more success on this slide. Okay. This negative out here, got to be really careful. Okay, so that negative 2 is going to be nosy and getting everyone's business. Negative 2 times 2x. That's going to give me negative 4x. Got to bring down my addition sign. Got to bring down my addition sign. Now I'm going to do negative 2 times 3. When I do that, I get negative 6 equals 38. Okay, now I have my two-step equation. So I'm trying to get negative 4x eventually by itself to eventually get x by itself. So I've got to look right here. This is negative 6. Okay, guys, this is a negative 6. Even though there's addition sign, this negative trumps everything. So in order to get rid of a negative 6, how do I get rid of a negative 6? I add 6 to both sides. I add 6 to both sides. So I'm left on this side with negative 4x equals 44. Alrighty, now I'm going to divide both sides by negative 4. Divide both sides by negative 4. I'm going to get x equals negative 11. Goodness gracious. Alrighty, now I'm going to go for my check. I'm going to do negative 2, parentheses 2 times negative 11 plus 3. Let's see if that equals 38. So I've got to do my multiplication within the parentheses first. Negative 2 times negative 22 plus 3 equals 38. Alrighty, negative 22 plus 3. Negative 22 plus 3. Negative 22 plus 3. I get negative 2 times negative 19 equals 38. And guess what, guys? 38, guess what? Equals 38. Oh my goodness. You all are so smart. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Where is it? Okay. Good job. Okay. This one is super tricky. Super, super tricky. So, be careful. There are lots of negatives and subtraction signs, and oh my goodness. Okay. I'm going to take this negative 2, and I'm going to distribute it. Negative 2 times negative 6x. That gives me a positive 12x. Here's where it gets really tricky. You've got to bring down your subtraction sign. You've got to bring down that subtraction sign. Bring down that. Now I'm going to do negative 2 times 3. Negative 2 times 3 gives me negative 6 equals 18. Oh my goodness. Okay, I have these two negatives right here. These two negatives are going to turn into what? They're going to turn into a positive. They're going to turn, I don't know if you can see that. They're going to turn into a positive. So I'm going to look and I'm going to say I want 12x by itself. So I've got to get rid of my positive 6. So in order to get rid of positive 6, I subtract 6 from both sides. I get 12x, because my 6's cancel out, equals, 12x, my apologies, equals 12. Oh, cool. Divide both sides by 12, divide both sides by 12, and I get x equals 1. Phew, that was tricky. Okay, what I want you guys to do, is I want you to do the check on your own. So I want you to go back and I want you to put this 1 in where you see the x. Okay, so I want you to go in and put that 1 where you see the x. And I want you to do your check right here. And when you're finished with your check, you got to raise your hand. You got to raise your hand so you can get love and a check. And then you have to do the summary. Whoa. Oh well. Okay, my summary. Whoa! It says, when I see an equation with parentheses in it, I will. What are you going to do? I will use what property? The blank property. And then what? Hint. Look back at your first two slides. It gives you steps. Use the steps. Use the steps from the first two slides, and that will help you. Alrighty, way to go. Love y'all. See y'all. Bye.